All right, today we had a question that came in from Tazzy. And Tazzy said, "Hey, Michael, I think it'd be great if you could explain how can you spread your music within a different country and city. Also, it'd be good to have a video that helps with planning your musician's goals." Awesome. So thanks for the question, Tazzy. And real quick, when it comes to doing the video on planning musicians' goals, we did do that early on in the series. I think that was the top 3 goal system. So you can check out that one for that question. And then this is a great question around how do I go from playing locally to expanding regionally and nationally, being able to just grow to the next level. The strategy I'm going to share with you is going to be one of the best ways that you can hone in and target specific markets, which is really useful if you're planning on doing a tour, for example, and you know that you're going to be playing in certain cities. Now you're going to be able to actually grow a fan base directly in the cities that you're looking to perform at so you can get more people to your shows. And it's also going to be helpful if you're looking to build a market in a different city or a different country. All right, so the first strategy that I'm going to point out is earlier on, we walked through how to launch a virtual tour hacking campaign. And in that video, we basically walked through step by step how do you launch one of these campaigns. And part of this campaign that you're launching is that you can actually choose specifically where are you targeting? Like, where do you want to reach fans of your music? And again, to recap, basically you just start with the name of one of your favorite artists here in music-map.com, and then you make a collection, you start to research what are all the similar artists to you that might have fans that might like your music too. And then you can actually target them specifically here, but just by typing in their name. And Instagram and Facebook are going to pull from their billions of users, so you can target people specifically who are interested in these bands. And the way that you can target specific cities is if you come to the targeting up here and you look at locations, you can click on edit. And let's say that you knew that you're going to be going on tour and hitting 10 major markets in the United States. Then you can actually type in here, let's say Orlando, Florida is one of the shows you're going to play. And now you can see that you're targeting Orlando. And we can actually choose a radius of, let's say, 35 miles that they can drive out to come see you play. And I would just do this for every city that you're performing on tour. So if you're going to play New York City, it's a pretty big drive. It's maybe not the best routing, but maybe you go all the way down the East Coast. Then you can do the exact same thing. We could choose either within 25 miles or 35 miles, and then you could choose anywhere in between. And so that's the straightforward way that I would recommend to really hone in and target specifically the cities that you're going to be touring at. This is a great way to get more people out to the shows. Another thing that you could consider is that if you're planning on going on tour in these cities, virtual tour hacking campaigns are awesome. And it's a great way to build a deeper relationship with people. And it's probably the number one strategy that I could share that allows you to take new listeners, actually turn them into subscribers and people who purchase things from you. That being said, it's not the only tool that you should have in your tool belt. And another type of campaign that I would recommend that you could test out, especially if you're planning on going on tour in these different markets, is maybe launching a video view campaign of one of your music videos to all of the markets that you're going to be performing at. And you can send people to watch one of your music videos. And that could be a really powerful strategy as step 1. So if you have all of the cities that you're going to be touring here, now maybe you have 3 or 4 different music videos that you can start sharing so that as they're scrolling through their newsfeed on Instagram and Facebook, they start to see your music and they start to get familiar with you. And then you have another campaign going for virtual tour hacking. So now that they've connected with you, they recognize you. Now you're actually looking to have a conversation with them and connect with them. And that's going to be really cool. And so you could combine 2 different styles of campaigns. But the idea here is that you do want to be intentional, especially if you know that you're going on tour. Make sure that you're targeting the cities specifically that are most likely to come out to the shows. And they actually have some campaigns that are designed to take someone from a new listener to someone who's actually going to go out and attend the show. I also want to share another strategy that is definitely more kind of ninja and technical, but it's something that I think could be really helpful. You could actually create a new ad set for every city that you're planning on targeting. And what you can do with that is, in combination with Street Team, is you can actually track where your fans coming from, what's the location. And based on that, you can tag them in Street Team so that when you're sending out a text message or when you send out an email, you can let them know that, hey, I'm going to be playing in New York City near you in the next month or so. What that would look like is if you come to create a new ad set, and we decide to create a new ad set within the same campaign, then you might call this New York City. And what you could do here is basically you'd scroll down, make it the minimum daily budget, and you could target the specific city here. And you could do this with every city that you wanted to target. And then under demographics, you'd probably want to expand and reach a wider number of artists here because you're shrinking it down quite a bit by narrowing it down to only within New York. So my recommendation would actually be to expand your audience here. And the way you can do that is by searching for one of the artists in your targeting audiences and then clicking suggestions and just clicking as many of these different ones that resonate as possible. So you can expand this quite a bit. And then from there, where it says add URL parameters, you could say city equals New York. And now in Street Team, if you had a opt-in form, then you might make it a hidden field. Query key is going to be city. And basically what this means is that when someone lands on the page with this form and in their URL, it says city equals something. If it says New York or Boston or wherever, then it's going to fill in this field automatically with whatever the value is in the URL. And so what that's going to do is it's going to let you know when a fan subscribes to your Street Team, which city did they come from? And that can be really helpful when it comes to being able to send relevant messages to them, because you don't want to send broadcasts and say, hey, I'm going to be playing in California to your fans that live in Antarctica, because that would just make them feel so disappointed that they're living in Antarctica. And you want to really be selective with the messages that you're sending to them so that it's as relevant as possible. And so this is one way that you can do that in a way that's a lot more ninja and more technical, but I just wanted to share it because it is really cool and I geek out about this stuff. The other way that you could do this is you could have a page that they go to afterwards that says, which city are you from? And they could answer it there, or you could even have a conversation with them in Street Team through the Messenger, through the conversation tab, and ask them, and just fill it in automatically from there. But this is one way that you can automate it. You can just make it happen right away when they join because you know exactly where they came from because they clicked on that ad set. All right, so that was day number 26 of 30 Days of Q&A. I hope this was helpful. And if you enjoyed it, if you could do me a favor and click on the like button, that would really help because it lets YouTube know that it's valuable for you. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the form submission by clicking on the link in the description. And until next time.